Welcome back. I'm Jeremy with Desert Tsunami, and in this video we're going to talk about the rest of mapping and the tile sets. In video 1 we created our little seaside hamlet. We went over blocking things out, setting up some simple buildings, and starting to populate it. By the end of this I'm going to show you something that'll make this, won't make it quicker, but it'll probably help you with your first little game here. First, we are going to talk about the interiors of buildings. Now, it's basically the same thing, but there are a few other things to think about. That's what we're going to get into. So, let's make a new map. This time, we're going to right-click on Seaside Hamlet, and we're going to click on New. And here, we need to name our map. Remember to always name your map. In the tile set, we're going to click on Inside. I'm going to leave this at a 17 by 13. Everything else is good. We'll say OK. Now in here, the first thing I like to do is to create the tops of all my walls. So let's select the top of one of the walls, come over here to the rectangle, and we're going to start drawing out the tops of the walls. Next we need the sides of the walls. Get the front of the wall here, that's good. And then we need a floor. Okay, that looks like a shack. I would like a little room in here though, so let's select the top of the wall again. Come back over here to our square or rectangle tool. Draw out our room. Come back over here to the side. And there we go. We now have a room. But we can't get in that room. So let's come back over here to the floor. Let's get rid of some of that top. Come back over here to the side. And there we go. We have ourselves a nice little 1-bedroom shack. This is as far as I'm going to go as far as this. The decorating of it is all up to you, however you want to make this. Real quick, when we made this new map, we clicked on the Seaside Hamlet instead of Tutorial. This is all for organizational purposes. If we look at our map tree, we can see that the Home 1, or Home 01, has been indexed underneath Seaside Hamlet. If we click on that little minus button next to it, it's going to collapse that entire map tree. If we click on the plus, it brings it back. Alright, so keep that in mind. Now, let's get into some of the nitty-grittier stuff here. The tile sets. The first thing we need to do is click on this gear on top. This is our database. If this is the first time you've clicked on the database, it's going to look just like this. It should start you off in the Actors tab. We will be going through all of this, but not today. The only thing we need to worry about is the tile sets. Once we click on tile sets, we're going to see all the tile sets that are currently in our project. What we need to do to make a custom tile set is come down here to maximum and get used to this button. We're going to use this quite often. And we're going to put 10 in here. Now you can put whatever number you want, but 10 will be good for starters. And we'll say OK. Now we have 4 more slots to put our own tile sets in. In slot number 7, I'm actually going to name this tildes. And that's just to separate what we're going to do on the bottom from all the stock stuff. Over here on 8, let's go ahead and name this Custom 01. On the mode, just keep it as area type. And then down here on the images is where we're going to start populating our tile set. Everything under the A, or the A tab, these are all auto tiles. We don't have to fill out every single tile set or every single tile slot here, but we're going to do it for educational purposes. So in A1, we're going to put inside A1, A2, inside A2, A3. There's no inside A3 here. So let's just grab something else. Like I said, you don't have to fill out everything, but we're going to go on and fill it out this time. So we're going to say outside A3. For walls, we want to say inside A4. And then for inside A5, we use the same thing. Now, B through E. These are going to be all your object tabs. We can have, let's go outside B, inside C, SF, inside B. Sure, why not? And then, did we already use inside C? We did. Let's go inside B. There we go. Okay. So now we have all of our different tabs. The next thing that we have to pay attention to is all these little circles on everything. What do they mean? Well, these are our collisions. If we click on one of these, it's going to give us an X. If we click on it again, it's going to give us a star. And if we click on it again, it's going to take us back to a circle. You can also right click on it to go backwards. What do these mean? The circle are things that you can walk on, so they are below the character. An X are things that the character is going to run into, so they are on the exact same plane as the character. The star are things that are above the character, so they'll fly over the character or the character will walk underneath them. We're going to see this in every single last one of these. Yes, if you make your own tile set, you're going to have to go through all of this and do that. It's quite tedious, but in most cases it's worth it. Let's come over here to the right, because we have a bunch of other buttons we got to go through. On passage for direction, this is going to tell us which direction we can move out of a tile. So, if we see that there's a little circle here, how there is right here, just a little dot, we can't move past that. If there's nothing on here, they're not going to be able to get onto this tile whatsoever. Wherever the arrow is where they can leave from. If that makes sense. So say, let's find a good one here. These stairs here. I don't want the player to be able to walk past this banister. So I'm going to click and make that a dot. Same over here. So now they'll walk up here, but they can't walk off of here. Alright, let's move on to the next tab. Ladder. All the ladder really does, and we really want to do is, this will be perfect. All the ladder does is it makes your sprite or your player face upward when they come into contact with that tile. So it looks like they're climbing a ladder. Down here on bushes, let's go find ourselves a nice bush. This looks good. What the bush will do is it will make the bottom of the sprite slightly transparent, so it looks like they're in a bush. That's really about it. You can use this for a lot of different other things. So if you want this here, you want the player to still be seen as they're walking behind here, you can use that. You can use it for that as well. For the counter, what this does, let's talk about shops for a quick second. If you make a shop and say this is your counter, we make that our counter. The player is standing down here, the shopkeeper is here. If the player interacts with this particular tile, that tile is going to interact with the shopkeeper, triggering the shop. There's another way of doing this, but this is the most basic of ways of doing it. Next we have damaged floor. It does what it says. It hurts the player. If the player walks on this, typically you'd be using this on your A tab. So this looks pretty damaging. If we click and we see these little teeth-like things, what that means is that floor is going to damage the player whenever they walk on there. Lastly, we have our terrain tags. The terrain tags can go all the way up to 7, which means you have 8 really, counting 0. These aren't going to change much when it comes to how the player interacts with it front facing. It's really going to be something that the developer is going to use for sound effects or triggering different events. All things that we're going to get to later. Once you're finished with your tile set, setting up all of your stuff, you can hit apply, say OK. Now let's come over here to home 1. We're going to make this look real goofy real fast. Let's hit space to open up the properties, and we can just change this to custom and say OK. Now we have all the stuff that we had before. And that's pretty much it. So, as I said, we're going to make a small game. I wouldn't release this anywhere. This is just for you to learn on. So, for the next time, I said I was going to show you guys something special here at the end. If you're unsure what to do with maps, you have no inspiration or you don't know what to do, when you right click on your map tree, come down here to load sample map. This is going to give you a bunch of different maps that you can check out or you can use however you want it to be. So say you want a forest town or a snow town or whatever else it is that you're looking for. You can use these. Let's click on forest town. I'll say OK. It's going to load up that whole town. So if you need inspiration with trying to figure some stuff out, here's a good way of doing it. Okay, now we're done. What I like you to do now anyway is create a couple of maps. We're going to link these maps together and we're going to make a small game. Add some quests in there, add some NPCs. We're going to have a great time. Alright? So, until next time, keep playing and keep creating.